Hello and welcome to another update on the McMinnville real estate market. My name is Steve Thoele. I'm a principal broker with Premier Property Group. And this update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity ending this past Sunday, June 18th. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the data with you here as I always do. So first off, we'll look at that active listing number. This last week, we had 13 homes you can kind of see come on the market. Down a little bit from the week prior, but kind of certainly well within the range of where it's been over the past 8 weeks. And you can kind of see we've kind of gradually built up a little bit of inventory here over the past 8 weeks. Had a low of 43 homes in the market 8 weeks ago. This last week hit a high of 53 homes is the most recent number for that. And then the median price and days on market for those active listings, you can kind of see it's been very steady here over this past month, right at 589,000. Reached a high of 621 about 5 weeks back. And then the days on market, last 2 weeks, you can kind of see it's been at 23 days on the market, and that's low for the past 8 weeks. You can kind of see it got up to high of 37, but it's been trending lower from that point. Moving along to pendings, pending sales. So this last week, we had 12 pendings in McMinnville. And you can kind of see that's towards the upper end of the range on a weekly basis. And we've seen a growth in pendings as well, as you can kind of see over the past 8 weeks. At a low of 55 pendings 8 weeks back. This last week hit 71, which was a high for the past 8 weeks, as you can see. And then the median price and days on market for those pendings, you can see there hasn't been a whole lot of movement. You know, it's for the most of the weeks, you can kind of see it's been around 470,000. It's been trending up the past couple of weeks here. This last week, hitting 485,000. And then days on market, kind of same thing, not a big range here, but it has been trending down. You see we had a high of 11 days of market time on average 8 weeks back, and that's kind of declined back to or down to 7 days this last week. So obviously, homes that are getting into contract are tending to not be on the market, obviously very long. Just about a week's worth of market time right now. And then lastly, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put the info together here, I show we had 5 homes go from pending to sold this last week. It's up a bit from the prior week where it was really low activity with only 3, but you can kind of see that follows 2 weeks before that where we had quite a bit of activity in terms of sold listings. When I look back over the prior 4 weeks of activity on a week-by-week basis, this last week we came in at 30 homes have sold over the prior 4 weeks. And again, that's been very steady. You can kind of see we had a low of 28 and a high of 33. So we're kind of right in the middle of that. And then the median sold price and days on market for the sold listings, you can kind of see that that's had a high of just under 500,000 at 497. A low of 450, and this last week came in at 478,000 median sale price. And then the days on market, again, not a lot of variability here, but it has been at 9 days this past 2 weeks, coming down from a high of 14 days here about 4 or 5 weeks back. And then to finish up here, last thing we'll look at is the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So again, the weeks of inventory is the red bars, great measure of kind of relative supply and demand. And had a low of just over 5 weeks of inventory here to begin with, 8 weeks back. And it's been, pretty steady between 6 and 7 weeks worth here over the rest of the time. This last week hit a slight high of just over 7 weeks of inventory. Based, kind of what's happened with, trending up on the listings and then been kind of, steady state on the sales. And then the sale price as a percent of the original list price, you can kind of see that's been trending up over the past 8 weeks here. We had a low of about 97.5%. And we broke over 100%. So we're kind of back into that, bidding war category, at least for this past 4 weeks here. And, still obviously points to a very competitive market and, certainly a strong seller's market is continuing just based upon, the amount of inventory that we have and, the pace of sales, even in the face of, continued higher rates, still sitting around 7%, plus or minus quarter point or so. So still a very active market right now for sure. So hope that update is helpful to you. As always, if I can ever answer any questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. My number and email address are down below in the description below the video. As always, I really appreciate any likes, comments, and shares that you have. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, you got to do that. It's a great way for you to stay up to date on what's happening in your local market. So hope you have a great day, make it a great day, and we'll see you on the next update.